Kitty!
But which one of us is the killer?
Stop right there! It was him!
He's lying. No,
He
he's
made
lying.
me
It was
run
definitely
to this
him.
corner. I
He was the
swear.
one that killed somebody and ran over here. He's trying to blame it on me. I swear. Shoot him.
The murderer.
Thank you so much, Sheriff. Okay, let's go. Well, after that intro, can you guess what I'm going to be talking about today?
Murder mystery!
Murder Mystery is a game mode on the Hive that I honestly forgot about, but when I started to play it again, I realized just how fun it can be sometimes. If you like games like Among Us, then you're definitely going to enjoy this. But how could I play this game properly, and be a good citizen, and be a good sheriff, and be a good murderer? Okay, I get it. Just sit tight while I guide you through this. First things first, you gotta realize that not every game is gonna have some kind of action. And I say this for multiple reasons. One reason is that the murderer could just suck. Like in this clip where he just jumped into the water and drowned. But mainly because of the fact that the murderer just isn't there sometimes. Like, I understand you have stuff to do, but please just kill somebody. And other times, the game is just you running around until, yay, we won, oh my god, holy shit. But if it's not that, then it's one of a couple of things. Starting with, so, if you play Murder Mystery, there's like a 90% chance that you're going to be innocent, and there's definitely a 100% chance that you've been an innocent before. The innocent role has literally nothing to go with. And sometimes, even when you are innocent, people still shoot you. People like me because I'm a bad detective, but the innocents can do many things. But the main thing you should definitely do is collect coins. The coins in Murder Mystery are very useful for all roles, but specifically for innocents is where these things truly carry importance. See, if you collect enough coins, 10 to be exact, you can get this thing called the one-shot zapper. This thing is basically identical to the sheriff role, but you only have one shot. Since you only have one shot, you cannot waste it. Because if you do, stuff like this will happen. Okay, what? Alright, that is not entirely my fault. The shot went through his arm. Yeah, I understand the hitboxes in this game are terrible, but come on. Why are there no arm hitboxes? I mean, look at this. What kind of hitbox is this? This is the actual hitbox, by the way. I'm not making this up. Alright, where was I? Oh yeah. There are other things that you can interact with around the map. For a certain amount of coins, you can actually pick up some of these items. Some of these items can be consumable and can give you special abilities, so you should try to collect as many coins as you can. And use these consumables to your advantage. Before we move on, there is one thing that I forgot to mention. If you're innocent, you could just run to the giant magnifying glass and then take the bow. And unlike the one-shot zapper, this is the actual sheriff bow. So that means you don't have to worry about running out of shots. But speaking of the sheriff,
It's high noon.
the sheriff role. I don't know how to feel about this role. On one hand, it is pretty fun to run around looking for the murderer, but on the other hand, it can be really stressful. And the reason why I say this is because it kind of feels like I'm babysitting a bunch of kids, and then my soul gets crushed when one of my kids ends up dying because of my negligence. But when I'm not babysitting, it isn't as stressful for me. I just don't like it when people do my job for me. That was my job! But if people aren't completing your own job, then you actually have a chance to feel special when you finally get that crook that's been killing all the other people. But just because you have a bow does not mean you can go all willy-nilly and shoot everyone until you get up to the murderer. Because if you do end up shooting the wrong person, then you both die. That's why you need to be smart when it comes to this role. Like in this clip. I wasn't actually a sheriff here, but that doesn't matter because the sheriff was dead. I ended up easily finding out who the murderer was just by simply using the process of elimination. I see that there are 6 people left, and I know where 3 of those people are. But that still just leaves 3 others. Well, now 2 others. Anyway, everyone that I've seen here has a bow. If there's anyone here without a bow, then they're a murderer. Oh, well, would you look at that? Now, I didn't explain this clip just to show you how smart I am. I explained this clip to show you how rewarding it can be when you actually use your brain. Unlike this fucking idiot.
Why is he not? They just shot me!
I honestly don't understand why he did it. He is right there. Anyway, it's time for the section that we've all waited for. The murderer role has got to be the funnest role out of the 3. I mean, there is so much to talk about in this section, and I'm gonna take my sweet time explaining everything. So let's start off with the main thing, the sword. The sword doesn't really need a lot of explanation. I mean, it's a regular sword that can one-shot people. I mean, I guess the customization is pretty cool, but the ability to throw is way better in my opinion. Look at that! Isn't that crazy? The throwing knife is somewhat slow, so you will definitely need to calculate your shots, because stuff like this happens if you don't. I don't really know what to compare it to in speed, because every vanilla throwable is way faster. So I guess all I could say is you should try to get used to it, because if you do, you can do stuff like this too. But being the murderer isn't all about throwing and knifing everybody. Sometimes being the murderer can also require strategy. So, do you remember when I was talking about coins? Well, it turns out that the murderer can also collect coins. Now, to the normal person, coins might not be that important for the murderer. But you're forgetting one thing. Still don't know? Let me show you a clip. As you can see here, I am the murderer, and I am in a pinch. There's a guy that I just killed, and there are 2 more people right here. One of which was actually a sheriff. I see that I have a cupcake that I bought for 3 coins. Now, I know that it has a 50-50 chance of either giving me invisibility or speed 2. Whichever one I get, I can either run away or I can get these people. And it turns out I got invisibility, which helped me a lot because not only did the invisibility allow me to get 2 kills, but it also allowed me to run around in this corner and then hide away. I then decided to buy another cupcake, which also gave me invisibility. So I ended up taking that chance and going back into the room where it actually turns out the hero was in. And you know what happens next. So, why did I play that clip? It was because of the cupcakes. You might not have known this, but since you can pick up coins, the murderer can actually interact with stuff around the map, which adds a bit more depth into the gameplay. Now, people might see the word murderer appear on their screen and see a sword appear, and then automatically think, oh yeah, let me just run around and stab people. But no, don't do this. Because if you do something like this while I'm in the lobby, you might as well just leave. But if you do want to run around and stab people successfully, at least do it right.
Oh my god! I'm insane! I'm insane! I actually just sniped this nigga.
You have to be careful when you choose to attack because there could be witnesses around. And if there are people, you can just do what I did and just run behind something. Now, you can either run away, or you can wait for the perfect moment to strike! No, come back here, please come back. Oh my god, no, he got away. But I'm not mad, actually. I'm impressed. Now, you might be asking why I'm impressed with him just running away, but he didn't just run. He used one of the apples around the map. The apples that give you speed boost. That gives me an idea. I can stock up on apples and then no one would even have a chance of getting away from me. Thanks to you, Mr. Excuse, I ended up winning a game with this brilliant idea. And since we've covered the roles, we can now talk about playing with friends and parties. Communication and coordination is key when it comes to any kind of murder mystery game. Like here, where it turns out my boy Quan was actually the sheriff. Keep that information in the back of your head. Now, I ended up just walking right past the murderer. I don't understand how he let this happen. But that's not important. What's important is the skin. Keep this in the back of your mind as well. I ended up finding Quan, and I told him about the murderer and what he looked like. Then, after we got a clear image of what he looked like, it was just over for him. Also, go subscribe to his channel. It's going to be in the description.